Oh boy, this is gonna be an interesting one. So, in case you don't know, I upload a lot of clips from The Late Show with Stephen Colbert on CBS was on my channel because he allowed to do one content between videos and related to Donald Trump and presentation reciting, and also the segments between the famous Meanwhile segment. However, this is going to be the saddest story in my life earlier today. As per earlier today, that the Late Show with Stephen Colbert will air on CBS has come to the close in May next year because this is how related with the financial decision with the Paramount and Skydance merger, and as well as an end to this lawsuit settlement between Donald Trump and CBS News related to 60 Minutes. Because I have to say, this is going to be many fans, mostly the Late Show fans, are upset, mostly because of the Paramount and Skydance merger. Because as probably know, I boycott Paramount and Skydance, and especially the soon to be a CEO and especially the founder and CEO of Skydance Media, David Ellison, because I even know that similar what did with Warner Bros. Discovery, and more specifically CEO David Zaslav 2 years ago. I don't. I will no longer support Paramount and Sky projects, especially CBS and Nickelodeon and NTV and all that stuff, because of the problems contracts between or tenses between at Paramount and CBS. How's it going? And then especially Skydance Media, because the cancel content become the huge. I like CBS was no longer a in the big entertainment TV station. It's now become like a right wing news network and innovating like Fox News or CNN or any other news media outlets like MSNBC too. But the thing is, but this CBS is going to become a downhill spiral, and Paramount Global become a downhill spiral too because of merger between with Skydance Media. And I boycott. I mean, literally boycott Paramount and Skydance a lot since last week. As for they canceled the Tiny Chef show. We got saved. Then it removed South Park on the streaming service on Paramount Plus in overseas. Then later canceled Bruce Cruz and you on Nickelodeon, and now they can they ask CBS and Paramount ask the Late Show with Stephen Colbert, and this is might be the terrible decision and become the saddest thing because Paramount and Skydance are want to do is change a lot. Sorry that but still the financial decision between related to the Paramount and Skydance merger, and especially in the settlement of between um, a lawsuit between the settle was led by between CBS and CBS News and Donald Trump and related to 60 Minutes. So the problem is what happened. Well, the statement said this: the Late Show with Stephen Colbert will be ended in 31 in May 2026. Almost 10 years, 11 years almost at at the end of the broadcast season. We considered Stephen Colbert in Progresso and retired the Late Show franchise at the time, and we're proud of Stephen called CBS home. He and the podcast will be remembered in the peloton of great stag race late night television. And they continue and the Colbert will also said in the taping, he said this. It was just, oh, actually, he stated by George Cleek, co CEO of Paramount Global and president of the chief executive officer of CBS, Amy Reisenbaugh, president of the CBS Entertainment, and David Stafford, president of the CBS Studios. And because the CBS executive come on, that the petition of the financial decision against the challenging background of the late night. And it's not related to in any way of the show performance, content, and the other matters happening at Paramount. So, yeah, they are CBS canceled the Late Show with Stephen Colbert and asked the late night franchise for good because of reasons that the CBS has moved forward to do a content between a different kind of content without the late night franchise. This is a joke. This is to take it serious. Why? Look, the late night franchise become the huge on CBS. This is not going to be an, but this CBS has become turned into the right wing network, in a vein like CNN and Fox News and MSNBC. That made no sense. This is look. I mean, but since the late night franchise has to do with CBS was already long gone. Back in the day. The late so I mean remember here's a problem when the late night franchise has gone downhill. 2 years ago, the Late Late Show with James Corden was ended because of the bad behavior with James Corden, of course, and along with and then and a year and originally the CBS canceled After Midnight reboot hosting by Taylor Thompson due to low ratings. So why do this? The late show with Stephen Colbert is not to do with that because of the decisions about the late night franchise on CBS that were related to that because it scrapped it because it related for merger with Skydance and Paramount. That made no sense. I mean, this is CBS. The network tagline, of course. This is what because the most watched U.S. station, USA TV station in America that wanted to do the airing on the content between news, TV, news, sports, entertainment series, soap operas, the reality shows, and now you're not could be trying to be the comparator like Fox, ABC, and NBC. But I need to do something better. David Addison is a most this become the new David Zaslav. And I didn't like this person. David Addison is a founder of Skydance Media. He did a lot of he's pretty much known these franchise like Mission Impossible, Terminator, G.I. Joe, Transformers, Reacher, and now you probably know he's in a lot of great movies, but Skydance is a terrible company. Hey, even the animation division was led by former Pixar and animator, and God will help us, animator equivalent of Harvey Weinstein, John Lasseter, and boy, that the recent Skydance animation content is pretty much one of which is the movie on Spellbound stars everyone's least favorite person, douchebag that isn't Chris Pratt and Pedro Pascal is racist savior. So yeah, I think might be this is terrible decision from Paramount and Skydance and merger, and I don't trust them. And you got even better. It's pretty no John Stewart, who's also a hosting of the another Paramount owned sister network Comedy Central, will hosting of the one host of the Daily Show. But however, because then made another article and he said this: Will Skydance cancel the Daily Show? Jon Stewart raising the future of late night series. So he's in a statement, and he told me on the statement and joking that Skydance Media will merge with Paramount Global and the parent company of Comedy Central. They joking say kick out the shitty and status that and sell and becoming made sell the whole pots of fucking effing plates of pots. So and eventually he said no podcast. Unfortunately, we haven't heard anything from them on the podcast of the Weekly Show with Jon Stewart. He said they have called me then and said like don't get comfortable in that office. But let me and Stewart. But let me tell you something. I kick out the shitty aesthetics than that, and we landed on our feet. And then another scene pretty called actually Daily Show with air in 1996 said I like to believe that without the Daily Show I don't know a Comedy Central is kind of like a mosaic of this point. I think we are only sort of life that exists on a current basis other than the South Park, and but it's the only thing on there. But I like to think they bring we bring enough value to property, and then if they looking at that purely in the real estate transaction, I think we bring a lot of value. But that might not be their consideration. They may with sell the whole freaking place on for bot. I just don't know. We deal with it when we do, and I agreed for that. And then also praising staff led by the Joan Weber, Jen Flats, and the talent of the show, which include the co-host John Kepper, Dean Lane, Ronnie Chang from Megan fame. You remember that movie? I don't know. The sequel sucked. And Michael Costa said, "I am so happy to proud that everyone that will works over there. They wanted to do that. Now their sells out. As Jane later would say, the Doritos go away. Crunchy if we want. We'll make more. We figure out when the time comes." So yeah, I think the Daily Show was not going to be canceled because of Skydance and Paramount and Skydance merger. Everyone loved it, and the same goes with the Delay Show with Stephen Colbert. That made no sense because everyone loves the French late night franchise on CBS, but then canceled because of Paramount Skydance merger. Are you serious? You know what? I really need to wake a call to Paramount, Skydance, and especially CEO David Ellison. We need to stop. We're not letting anyone. We boycott Paramount, Skydance because there's a lot of financial decisions and cancel all their projects, like they with Warner Bros. Company and the CEO David Zaslav. We want to do something better. This is our community. The Late Show with Stephen Colbert is the fun late night show was about the politics between Donald Trump and any other political axis, and especially the guests were all related to politics and entertainment and all that stuff. But this is want to do it better. So let's save the Late Show with Stephen Colbert without cancellation, and we continue airing on this show because the Late Show with Stephen Colbert is not going to be end. It's still going on, and the same goes with the Daily Show on Comedy Central. So let's save all together and let's boycott Paramount and Skydance all together. Hashtag save the Late Show. Hashtag boycott Paramount. Hashtag boycott Skydance. And hashtag fire David Ellison. So let's spread the word, everyone. We need to save the Late Show with Stephen Colbert without ending next year. So let's do it together. Hashtag save the Late Show. Hashtag boycott Paramount. Hashtag boycott Skydance. And hashtag fire David Ellison. Make that happen. Let's spread the word. Please, David Ellison, you are this is president that better than become the new David Zaslav. You need to move on. Fire already because this is our America. We gotta save that late night show and this between this and this. So, one last time, hashtag save the late show, hashtag boycott Paramount, hashtag boycott Skydance, and hashtag fire David Ellison. Whew, that was a lot of fun to do around. So please spread the word. Let's save the late show before getting canceled by CBS due to Skydance and Paramount and Skydance merger. So that's pretty much today. So thank you for watching. And until next time, keep your eyes out and whenever, as John F. Kennedy once said, ask not what your country can do for you. Ask ask what you can do for your country. So that's the statement. That's what John F. Kennedy says. So until then, I'll see you there. And whenever, let's save the late show with Stephen Colbert before getting canceled by CBS. Good night, everyone.